and welcome to dccodinggames.com. Today we are going to be talking about how you can make a profit in Cities Skylines 2 in the early stages of the game. Now I am making a profit of 6,641 at the moment. I've got a population of 210 and I'm only on milestone 4. So the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you have your roads, you have your rail connections, and you have the ships, and you got the planes, and you got the electricity connections for the map you're doing. And we have quite a lot of forest, we have quite a lot of wheat, which is good, and we got quite a lot of ore and oil, which is great. So let's start. Now, when you first start this, you'd want to go to your water, and you'd want sewers, you want water, and you want electricity. Now, in terms of water, I will go for the pumping station, I think, because what we're going to do is, you could go for here, but we're going to put a geothermal plant there. So we don't want that. So we want to go for a water pumping station. We wanted this on pause as well, so that we're not losing money in the process of trying to build all this stuff. And then we want to have it maybe, I'm just wondering, because we don't want, maybe we should have this as a sewers actually. Let's have this as sewer. Because one thing you don't want to have is your water supply going into the sewers. So the water supply could be a bit up here so that it's not in the way of your sewers so that people don't get sick. So now we just connect them to your line here, and the other one connect to here. And this requires a road. We could put a roundabout there. They're quite good roundabouts because they just let the traffic flow a bit better, etc. So you see, now we want the electricity. Now what we're going to do is we're going to create one wind turbine, and we are only producing 1.42 out of 5 megawatts. This is not going to do any good. It mean that we're going to lose money. Employees don't work here, so they can't actually put up the efficiency of your electricity and how much it's producing. So it's not something that we want long term. It's only for a short term thing. Now we need to connect it. So we connect it here. So I know where everything is basically. There we are. And now what we'll want to do is we'll actually want to create some lots, and there's a very quick way of doing this where you can place grids. Now we're gonna have an industrial area which is way away from here, and we're then gonna have a residential area, and then we're gonna have a commercial area. Now this is important later on because then we can put them into districts and we can have different policies on them. And then actually having a residential area and a commercial area will be great, because that means that the residential place eventually they'll have to get to the commercial for their work, and they'll have to use buses, etc. Now that will have an income effect later on in the game, but this is just the early stages of making money. But it's also wise too to have your commercial district not too far away from the residential. Now industrial areas, they can be far away from your residential and commercial, because that would be great, because also this will grow and the commercial side will grow and the residential side will grow, and so you don't want them too close to your commercial and residential. Now the residential areas are the most that we'll want, so we can put this down like this. And residential areas are the places that will actually make you the most money, really. And then you could have like a commercial area here. We don't want too much of a commercial area at the moment. Later on I'll explain anyway. This is going to be for our industrial area. You don't want any buildings in here. We're going to use this for later. Now we need to connect our road up, so we'll do this for now. I'm wondering, we have a roundabout here, we have a roundabout here, and we have a roundabout here, and roundabout here. We can connect them. This is not about making your city really beautiful, it's just actually trying to show you how you can actually make a profit in this. So now what we'll have to want to do is start putting some of these houses down. Now, one thing you could do is you could actually leave some gap so that actually that when we expand our roads, etc., it won't destroy the other residential areas, etc. So it's going to be easier in the future to expand stuff. You can do it this way, you don't have to, you can just go whatever. If you want to make it really quick, then you can actually always use the paint thing and then just go do. That's fine as well. But anyway, for now I'm going to do what I was doing there. That'll be enough for now because they'll have to develop, and later on what you'll see is this is the demand and stuff, and you'll see that we have that low residential one already in demand, so it shows that this is the one that we're gonna need the most of, and actually it's the most profitable as well. So the commercial areas are always good because it gives people the work as well, but you could do the same, so you could leave some space so that you can improve things later. And then you want some industrial, and then you could do some zone of industrial, not too much, they don't need much at the moment. Just do what you need at the moment, don't overdo anything. Over expanding is a bad idea. So by actually building roads, etc., we are coming closer to our milestone. And in this game, the milestones are quite important. They get you to level up. So the more roads you actually build, the better. So in a way, we'd have to look at, okay, I've got this. What could I actually expand a bit more? And I think I would expand the residential place a bit more, just so that we can get up to the other milestones, so that I can show you a bit more and we can advance a bit more forward. So there, and then what we want to do is grid again, and then you could have one here. You could do this as much as what you feel like you want to do, it's fine, but this really helps. It just makes everything smoother and in place and everything. I guess more regimented, if you want to say that. Hey, we've got our milestone, so that's our first milestone. What we want to do is get this geothermal power place. Now, it's needing more of these. You know what, I've just noticed something, but actually if you don't place some ones on the edge of the residential things, they won't actually start building. And I was wondering, why was it not doing what it was supposed to do? And that's the reason. You always have to have one tile at the edge of the road so it can actually start doing what it needs to do. Now I've probably started to overexpand a bit now. This could lead to a bit of an issue. So now this is all the demands going down now. We're starting to build. Speed this up a bit. Now don't worry, it's going to rise, but we're just going to see, because some of this stuff hasn't started building. So when it does, it should actually go down. If not, then it means that actually we do need more residential area. Okay, still going up. Okay, and now we're starting to get people in, which is great. The problem is we don't want the residential too close to the industrial. So one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to expand this a bit. And please note that when you do expand, you don't actually gain that much for your milestone, which is annoying, but there we are. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to bulldoze some bits here, because I might have a park there, or might have a educational system here, so that actually I can build this area up. So then when my residential areas are here, it's close to all the like ambulances, services, etc., and parks, which will make my residential area happier. Okay, there's a electrical problem, but there's not enough wind, so we need to make another one of these. You can see our water's fine, our electricity's gonna go up, should do. There we are. It's fine. No, nothing to worry about, guys. Electricity's fine. Don't worry, at this point we're losing money, but that's fine because we are gaining people population. That's what we want at the start of the game, is population build. So there's a hell of a demand for low density residential at the moment. Oh no, we're going to keep these places free for now. Now, in terms of services, we have an ambulance waiting for an ambulance, so it means that we will have to actually get service in. Now, don't get any services unless people ask for them. Quite important. So building a service will actually normally not be great for you because it will actually have expenses and everything. So you only do it when you have these things pop up that they need ambulances and stuff. Now we'll also need a recycling place at some stage in the game, but I think be okay for now. Okay, we need another power plant or wind turbine. And also we'll need death care too. And that's a nice looking area there for the people. They're huge actually, these. That's why I needed this. I probably need more space, to be honest. I'm probably going to take away this. If we do a landfill, this will increase our XP as well. So I'm going to do that now, just so we can get the ball moving here. We've got quite a lot of space there for a rubbish. I wouldn't really do loans actually that much unless you really need it, or you think that you can expand quite fast and make profit. So now I've done some more places to do housing, so then this should reach our next milestone very shortly. I'll do some here. Yeah, also making your citizens happy. This will increase your XP so that you can get to the next milestone. 142 per hour people population, that's great. Yay, now we're in the next milestone. So I'm just going to finish this up. And then what we want to do is we want to get rid of these. Now don't worry, I'll let you know what we're actually doing here. So we're going to go for this geothermal power plant. Now the reason being is that it actually upkeep for a geothermal is less. It's 300,000, whereas the others are quite expensive. Small coal power is okay, but it doesn't generate as much power, etc. This generates 20 and that generates 150. So all in all, these ones aren't as efficient as this one. Although, having said that, this one's okay because this one actually produces, the coal power plant can actually produce double the amount, but then it costs double the amount. So we don't really want to do that. So for an early stage of the game, the geothermal power plant is great. Also, it doesn't actually pollute a lot of the place. It's a medium pollution, so it's not high pollution, and that's great. So what we want to do is we'll want to try to place this. So we need to get rid of all of this. Not all of it, we'll leave this because we can use that, that's fine, to connect to our city. And this is 150. If I was going to place it here, that would be 52. So we want the max, which is 150, and it says yes, 150 if I place it here, which I want. And then what we want to do is then connect this line. This is for our housing. And then this one, we want to connect to our outside world, because this is actually where we are going to make the money. And we will want to connect some of these roads. And what we have here is we have employees. Now we want them all filled up, so we want them up to 22. And we have the taxation system as well. And what we'll want to do is put this down to well educated to -10, so that we can encourage people who are well educated into the city. It's quite hard to get them into the city. So that's the reason why we're doing that. And also it should mean that we get more people here. Now this is why I didn't want a lot of the commercial areas, because what we're going to do is we're going to see if there's anybody who's well educated in these places working. So we have educated, we need well educated. Okay, well educated, there's a person there, so we'll want to bulldoze that. And then you just go around and see if there's any well educated in these jobs, because if you can get rid of them from their current workplace, they'll hopefully come to the power station that we need them at. Now you can't encourage them to go there, unfortunately, so you'll just have to do this method. Okay, that's all there was. So there was about 5, and there's 5 positions, so I'm hoping that they'll come there. And let's speed it up a bit. So we're getting people in, which is good. In the meantime, we need more housing, it seems. Although I think we're okay. Don't overexpand, as I said. Remember that. So now we got 22 employees in this sector. So now if we go back to our taxation budget. Okay, we haven't got our services yet. So this is what we'll need later. But at the moment, should be that we're actually trading this. Yes, we're trading 148. Production is 152, so we're doing really well. We're trading it off, which is great. That means that we will be making a profit there. One thing you can do to make even more of a profit though is you have these upgrades. Now if I go to here, I can upgrade that, and that will increase the power, and then it means that we have more people that can be employed there, and the efficiency will go up as people get employed to the place. Now we just need one more well-educated person to be there. Yes, now it's 26 to 99%, it's saying. 100%. So it's at 100%, so that's great. So now you've seen money's gone down by quite to 2,000, so that's all good. Happiness is coming up. Now a good thing would be to add these in, because they'll give you the XP for the other milestone that we need, because then we can go into our services and I can show you what to do here. So if we add this, and you can see here that our service trade is 464,000. It used to be 0. So that means that we're bringing in this electricity, which is great. Electricity is always better for profit than it is water. We're starting to see a profit. I do want to have this at some point, so when we do hit the milestone, we'll get this upgrade. And we have 26 out of 26 employees in there, so making it very efficient, which is great. And it's got happiness, so that's great. It's always good to separate your houses from the medium zones. Sometimes shows you on the road, oh, don't have red here or something, and say, no, you don't want to have housing in the medium sectors, you want to keep them separate. But it's very good. We got plus 141 people there, and we are going up slightly. Just need that extra milestone. Come on. Rock Mansion, a famous star lives in this mansion when not on tour. So this means that this is quite a good thing to build, because that will give a bit of happiness around the location. Now we could put it here, or we could put it here. I think we'll put it here, because we might put an education place there. So put it here. It should make people a bit happier. And then when you level up, you have more buildings to choose from. And happiness makes your milestones go up. So we're up to 800, which is great. Now what we want to do is we want to go to taxation, and we want to increase this by 12 for now to see how people cope with that. And then our services, you see here, we are making a profit from our electricity as predicted. So what we can do is we can lower the budget and see what happens by doing that. We will make a bit, yeah, we've already made 10,000 by lowering the budget. And what we can do now, because we have got this great profit, we can actually get more services, but we want to look our budget. So at the budgets at the moment, we can actually lower to a bit, like do 84 for now. Service fee you don't really want to change, because you change the service fee then people get unhappy. So only change your budget. It doesn't mean anything to them if you change the budget. It just means that you just have to watch out, for instance, on these to see that actually are they getting enough. If they're getting enough, then putting it down a bit is not going to harm things. Now the only thing for services that I wouldn't change is the education and research. I find that you need this because then you'll get more well-educated people and they can go to your jobs that actually require a lot of attention and giving you profit. We are actually overdoing and doing stuff, so we can probably put these budgets down a bit. It won't hurt too much. Now the budget for the electricity 50. Now this is going to be interesting because I just want to see what happens if I put the budget. Now the service fee, yeah, I would leave that at 100 because it doesn't really affect much, but this does. Now if we did that to 500, what would happen? Yeah, it's actually not doing a great job there. So what I want to have it is at 50 because this seems like it's the best. Oh, but it's saying now that actually we're in a bad position. Now it's gone up to 10,000. So the best solution there in your electricity was to actually put the budget down to 50% for now. I think maybe if we get more of these electrical geothermal plants, but you don't want to overexpand yourself, remember, so just stick with what you have at the moment. When you get your better educational systems, you've got more well-educated people coming in. But one thing we can do is upgrade it. That might help even more of the profit. Definitely one thing we want to do. So let's increase. Okay, we want more well-educated. It's so hard to get them, but if you can, it will make your life so much easier. 9 well-educated, that's good. So now it's 24, yeah, because we've lowered the budget. But now that should really, we should be seeing a profit in that. There we are. So we've got the budget down and we're at 733. It's just, you just have to play around with it a bit just to get the right balance. So we are actually making 455,000 roughly from the electricity. And then we're lowering these so that we are reducing the amount. So we have 18,000 roughly in income, which is fantastic. And if you can see now, we have the ambulance in position, so we're only 28% in risk. Here we have 9% probability of crime, which is excellent. We have our elementary school up. We might want to actually then do something for when we get more profit. We'll want to get the educational place up a bit more. And then we have our, yep, garbage is fine. Healthcare, fine. We're producing more than we need. So we're actually trading, which is great for the electricity. Now it's 12,000, but you know, we're still in a good profit here. We can increase the tax to 15%, should be fine. Advanced road maintenance is one you want to do as well. This just gives you peace of mind that your roads are all safe. So I put my budget back to 100% and now I'm making profit again. it probably depends on, like, with all the upgrades we've done, you might actually consider doing maybe one upgrade initially, because over expanding seems like you create so much that actually you don't know what to do with it, and that's not necessarily a good thing. So just bear that in mind. I hope you guys enjoyed that, and in the next stage I'm going to show you how you can advance further and really grow and make even more profit from things like production, and we're going to look into parking fees for parking, bus routes, etc. So do stay tuned, and if you really like this video, do comment in the sections below and tell me what you think. And also don't forget to check out my website at dccodesandgames.com, where you can actually get the game pass, like the ultimate game pass I have, and you can play this on the PC at the moment. I don't think it's actually come out in the game pass for the Xbox at the moment. Anyway, that will be another 3 to 6 months, but for the time being you can get the game pass and play it on the PC. So see you on the next one.